So this is a motion vector which can be thought of as a backward motion vector even though it exists in the forward frame because this information is referencing backward data. Using all that information from the future and the past and motion vectors to reconstruct the image here. The difference between this block of 8 by 8 pixels and this block of 8 by 8 pixels I'm sorry, excuse me, I need to correct myself. That is actually backward prediction because the vectors themselves are coming from.
Let me just tell you in plain English what MPEG is and what MPEG does. MPEG is an international standard for video compression. In order to put video onto a computer, an interactive kiosk, interactive compact disc, you need to do two things. First, you need to make the video files digital. You do this through a process called digitizing. Second, you need to make the video files a lot smaller. You need to do this for two reasons. First of all, video takes up a lot of room on a computer. If you think about your computer at home or on your desk at work or the computer you're working on right now, let's say it has a 500 megabyte hard drive. Well, uncompressed video takes up 27 megabytes a second. So that means you'd get maybe 18 seconds of video on that computer. That's not very practical or cost effective. With MPEG, you can get up to 200 times as much video in that same space. So if you think about a CD-ROM, with MPEG, you can get 200 CD-ROMs worth of video on one CD. 60 minutes of video and audio on one CD-ROM. The other reason you need to make video files smaller is because of bandwidth. Now, bandwidth is just a fancy way of saying how much room there is on a phone line or a computer network line. Let's just say we're talking about a network line. Typically, it would carry about 1.5 megabits a second. Now, if we look at that uncompressed video again, that's 27 megabytes a second. That's where MPEG comes in. We can take this 27 megabytes a second, compress it to 1.15 megabits a second, and it'll flow smoothly over the computer line, the phone line, or even a satellite transmission. So what? I mean, who cares? Well, for one thing, storage and bandwidth cost money. With MPEG, you need less of both. For example, let's say you're putting a bird in the sky. No, not that kind of bird. By putting a bird in the sky, I mean launching a satellite. To launch a satellite costs about $1 billion. Now, without video compression, you can get maybe 2 channels off that satellite. That's not very practical or cost effective. But with MPEG compression, you could get hundreds of channels off that same satellite. You can use video on compact discs, for interactive training, for kiosks, for point of purchase, or just really neat interactive compact discs like this one. Speaking of which, let me let you get back to the other fun things to do on the CD.